Crackleberry Lane woke with honeyed light. Blue tiles winked on the roofs. The market stalls spilled mustard, teal, and coral like happy paint. Smells of warm bread and pine mixed with paint and oil. People hummed. Puddles on the cobbles glowed, and a ribbon on a small tail fluttered as a tiny inventor bounced between stalls. Gadget stood on a little wooden crate. His goggles caught the sun, and his pockets jingled. He held up a glove that twinkled with tiny stitched patches and a ribbon that trailed like a paint stroke. He tapped it with a stubby pencil and giggled, a quick, bright sound.
Friends, bright idea! This will make chores happy. It will make things giggle and hop. Try it!
He slipped the glove on his paw and waved. At first, the glove did just what Gadget promised. Socks on a line gave a polite wiggle and hopped an inch. A teacup on the baker's cart let out a tiny chuckle and hopped once, making a crumb jump from the pastry. The crowd clapped. Children whooped. Gadget scribbled in his battered notebook, counting how many times each thing giggled, and he traced a circle with his pocket compass, like a secret plan. Then, something silly started to happen. The glove changed color. One moment it was bright blue, the next it shimmered coral, then mustard yellow. Paint jars on a stall began to braid together like ribbons. Buttons on a coat stood up and began to boogie in a line. Apples on a cart made small burbling laughs and rolled in a dance.
Hee?
He tried to fix it. He gave the glove a gentle shake, and the buttons did a boogie that grew into a conga line across the market. He tapped the glove harder, and the apples belted out giggly burbles that made the baker's hat wobble. Each of Gadget's little fixes made things even sillier.
1, 2, 3. Maybe quiet taps will help.
He tried soft taps. The jars hummed a lullaby and then began to wobble to a tune like dum-dum-dee. The teapots hiccuped. The market laughed harder. Neighbors came close with bright, curious faces. Mabel, the baker, held a spoon like a baton. Mr. Button, who sold shiny brass buttons, clapped a gentle click. Little Nori waved a ribbon. Everyone wanted to help. Gadget's giggles were quick and nervous now. He used his pencil to mark notes, drawing tiny arrows and happy faces. Trial 1. Soft taps. The jars hummed soothingly, but then rolled like tiny drums. Not the trick, but a clue. Trial 2. Loud taps. Gadget stopped once. The pies performed a hop, then a full somersault. A goose on a cart honked and joined the marching pies. The market roared with giggles. Gadget scratched his head and scribbled more notes.
Loud makes leapy.
We need a pattern, said Mabel with a wink. Mr. Button clicked his tongue like a metronome. Nori tapped a small stick on a crate. Gadget breathed in, his compass ticking softly in his vest, and counted a new plan. Trial 3 was careful. Gadget asked friends to help. Mabel tapped soft, loud with her spoon. Mr. Button clicked twice, then paused. Nori waved her ribbon like a little conductor. Gadget stood in the middle and listened. He tapped gentle, louder, soft, loud, then paused, then soft. He marked each try in his notebook with tidy dots and little arrows. At midday, the market was a boisterous circus. Jars wobble-sang a tune, pies hopped like frogs, apples did a bubbling dance, and even the lamplighter's hat tipped in time. Gadget's cheeks puffed as he focused. He remembered to breathe and to count slow. He tried 3 small, careful trials, changing just one thing each time.
He listened for the pattern that made a tiny sigh come back to objects. On the last try, with Mabel tapping soft, soft, loud, and Mr. Button clicking once on the pause, Gadget tapped the glove once, then twice, then 3 soft taps. The jars gave a soft chime. The apples slowed their burbles to tiny hiccups. The buttons bowed and settled on the coat. The pies landed, all crumbs side down, and went still. The market took a breath. Hushed for one small blink, then everyone laughed softly, happy and relieved. Gadget's quick giggles turned into a long, proud giggle. He wrote the rhythm in his notebook with neat little marks and a smile. He hugged his compass and pencil. "We did it!" Neighbors cheered. Mabel handed Gadget a warm bun. Mr. Button pinned a tiny brass button to Gadget's vest pocket. Nori braided a small ribbon and tied it around the glove. The glove stopped changing color and only winked now and then, as if it had learned a polite trick. The lane smelled like bread and paint and a little more careful wonder. People fixed their stalls, straightened buttons, and set apples back in neat rows. Children waved and asked Gadget for stories about the glove. Gadget promised to write more notes and make gentle tests next time. Gadget learned that curiosity is like a little engine that loves to try things, but it runs best when you count, write it down, and ask friends to help. He kept his notebook open and his compass near, ready for the next bright idea, but with a softer, wiser giggle.
Curiosity grows when you test things slowly and write down what you learn. Asking friends to help turns surprises into happy fixes.